I don't know how I feel about Neapolitan Mouse. This is a 1954 Tom and Jerry cartoon, directed, of course, by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, and I found the narrative to be not that interesting, but there were a few moments in it that actually I really enjoyed. I'll read the description from IMDb. I don't usually do this with Tom and Jerry cartoons, but I feel like this sums up what is kind of a complicated, well, maybe not complicated, but complex narrative. Because it's quite a bit different. It's a different location. We have some other characters involved. There's quite a lot going on. The description is as follows: Tom chases Jerry through the streets of Naples. They meet a local mouse who recognizes them from their cartoons and shows them around. Meanwhile, some local dogs are shadowing them. The dogs I felt were underplayed, not really a big deal at all compared to this little mouse. I'm also not a big fan of how the dogs were animated. They look more like wolves. At least certainly one of them looked a lot more like a wolf, which is fine. Dogs look like wolves. But it's just, because we're used to seeing dogs like Spike and Tyke. It's not the type of animation style that I like with Tom and Jerry. But we get to see Tom and Jerry interacting with various bits of architecture in Naples, and we get some Italian vocabulary in there for me trying to learn Italian. That's something I really appreciated. The architecture, the scenery, it does look really pretty. Really thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of it. But the narrative I just didn't think was as good as it could have been. But what I did like was this little mouse. This little Italian mouse who recognizes Tom and Jerry. And he looks at them and goes, Tom, Jerry, Tom, and Jerry. And I don't know if this is the only time Tom and Jerry's names are mentioned like that in a Tom and Jerry cartoon, but it really amused me. And I think from that point, it hit a turning point, and I kind of started to enjoy it more. Maybe it just put me in the right mood for it. I don't know, but up until that point, I felt like it had been quite slow. It had maybe dragged a little bit, but slow, kind of towards the end, it began to pick up. So I didn't dislike it. I felt like maybe it was a bit too busy sometimes. That maybe there was a little bit too much going on at any one time. Generally speaking, though, it wasn't too bad in terms of how it was animated. Apart from the design of the couple of the dogs, the animation was actually very pretty. I really like the design of the little Italian mouse. He's very cute. He looks like what I imagine Nibbles would look like when Nibbles eventually grows up. Tom and Jerry, of course, were on top form. Needless to say, Neapolitan Mouse is not my favourite Tom and Jerry cartoon, but there were certainly bits in it that I did enjoy.